Good morning or good afternoon to everybody. My name is Pavlo Gorokhovskyi. I'm an architect here in the Netherlands. I work as an architect and advisor to the Dutch Board of Government Advisors, and also I'm a board member of Ukraine, the Netherlands Urban Network, who is the partner of Rebuild Green Hackathon, and we're also very happy to be the one. So. First of all, thank you for inviting us. I think it's a really good opportunity for exploring what we can do, but also like to scale up the project also here in the Netherlands, because I think the issues and the topics that you've been rising there or that you're about to rise are very relevant here in the Netherlands. And there's quite a lot of experience happening here also in The Hague, in Amsterdam, in Rotterdam. So I'm really glad to share all our experience. So now back to presentation. So Yuan is the partner of Rebuild Green Hackathon, and a little bit about us. Do you see my screen, right?
Да, Павло, ми бачимо зараз вас, і зараз
Great.
також виведена презентація ваша на екран.
Yeah.
Тобто всі
Okay.
бачать.
Good. So a little bit about Yuan. So Yuan is a growing community of spatial professionals from Ukraine, the Netherlands, and other countries around the world. We present architectural, urban planning, strategic, and other spatial planning organizations and professionals who have joined forces to exchange knowledge and drive the reconstruction of Ukraine as sustainable, inclusive, and livable part of the European Union. So our main goal is to share the best of what's available here in the Netherlands, so that others can use this knowledge in the reconstruction of sustainable, livable, and inclusive society. But moreover, we are committed not only to share successful stories, but also highlight our missteps to ensure that others can learn from these mistakes and avoid repeating them. A little bit about us, how we actually work. So there is a supervisory board that consists of Yulia Soldatuk, Carola Hein, and Robert Seri. And then there is a managing board. Alexander Tkachenko, Yelena Shevchenko, myself, and Patrick Meyer. So as you see, we're all representative of different either architectural or urban or strategic offices. And I think that's something that we're really proud of. A little bit of organization. The structural organization of UN. So basically, we are functioning within the three main pillars, which is obviously network, since we are urban network. Then capacity building, which in future can be used for rebuild of Ukraine, and a think tank, the creative projects, which are, of course, all of them are interconnected. Then, of course, each of them has subdivisions and like smaller projects, which later on also dividing into some other projects. But about this, I will say a few words in a bit. As I said, we are network, urban network. So that's one of the main pillar that we are basically functioning with. And within this network, we already as we're functioning for more than 2 years, we already managed to create quite a good scope of partners, among which we also have the different ministries here and also in Ukraine. So it's a governmental organization, also educational facilities, but also many other creative offices and instances. Yeah, among which you can see, of course, CERA or Archibri, TU Delft, and the New Institute, and many, many others. The list is also not full because it's quite difficult to put them all on the screen, I think, at the same time. As a network, we keep organizing the so-called meetups. That's the kind of public talks or brainstorms where that's how we started. Where we brought different minds from like completely different professions and backgrounds and started discussing how we can be helpful in Ukraine and what can be done. So then it started with the meetup 1. And then since then, we already had 4 meetups, which is happening every half a year in a different location, including involving different people. And it's basically the moment where we share what have been done within this half a year and try to make a plan for the future, but also we always trying to hear and to listen to people who are coming. So maybe there are suggestions, maybe there are some critiques, some options. So we are always open for that. Among this, we also organizing the different visits, events, and meetups. So, for example, whenever there is a Ukrainian representative from the government or from any other instance, we always welcome to invite the group of people, show them around, help them to dive into the topic, what's going on here, and share all the experience and expertise that we had. So on the picture, I think on the left, you see that was the Rotterdam Architecture Month. We were part of it, where we presented our visions. Then we, at some point, had the mayor of Mykolaiv come and visiting here in the Netherlands. So we also met and introduced him to our network. And then, studio visits are happening basically. It's a once-a-month event, which is also quite nice because we are choosing the studio here in the Netherlands, and then both translating it online, offline. Offline people who obviously present here, so they can come and see how the office is working, what are their values. Basically, it's one of, so like it's a networking part, but also capacity building moment. And then on the left bottom, that's a picture from the symposium that we had almost 1.5 years ago. It was a Ukraine Housing Recovery Forum, which was quite successful. And there's still going on process on like writing reports and different kind of academic works on that topic. So the second pillar, as I mentioned, is a think tank. And we have quite some project there, but recently the most prominent, the biggest one that we are actually working on is so-called Panorama Ukraine. So Panorama Ukraine is like this project that is based on Panorama Nederland that was initially done here in the Netherlands, and of course worked as an inspiration for us. It's a project that explores resilience in the areas of, in the different areas of water, housing, mobility, energy, governance, circular economy, biodiversity, and of course, agriculture. And within these different topics and teams, it is developing a series of events to distill an integral methodology to connect long-term goals and strategies with the short-term needs and emergencies. And Panorama Ukraine co-creates knowledge, experiences, and practices developed on EU countries, in particular in the Netherlands, and builds on these insights to create vision and strategies for the future of Ukraine. So as I mentioned, it is also organized in order to respond to some urgent issues. As for example, one of the workshops, actually the first one, was related to integral water resource management, and it was all about the region of exploded Kakhovka Dam. So in Kherson region, we organized this 1-week workshop with we had more than 60 participants from all over the world. One of the partners of the workshop was Archipre International, so basically the best graduates from all over the world came to participate. And that was like a series of a few days of lectures, visits, but also just working, brainstorming, where at the end 9 groups presented their visions, which actually few of them went further, and also representatives of different municipalities of Ukraine was present there, and like some of them really was close to their vision, and they for now they're going on into the action, but with the different municipalities in particular. So this event happened almost a year ago in Rotterdam. Then the second event that we just had, well, it was 2 parts. So we did part of in Rotterdam, and the second part just happened last week in Lviv. So we were also quite busy with that. The topic was healthy and future-proof neighborhoods. It was all about the resilience of Ukrainian cities and villages and neighborhoods and hromadas. And first we had a 3-day workshop here in Rotterdam, where basically the main audience was Dutch and international audience, and later on we did the kind of twin event in Lviv, where obviously a Ukrainian audience was more than 90%. But we of course also managed to bring some Dutch experts there, but it was quite successful. This was the last 2 workshops that we had, and they received quite a lot of feedback, so asking for continuation, but also maybe on the different topics. So for now, we have a set of 7 workshops or 7 topics. The first two just happened, but it doesn't mean that they are over now. Which still the process is going on, but more like in eye-to-eye or private sessions. We already started planning and actually working on it quite heavily these days. The topic of sustainable energy production, since we all know that we are coming closer to winter, and we all know the problems Ukraine is facing regarding the electricity and basically shortage of whatever light, water, and everything. How all we how we all know how difficult it is to sustain without these basic needs that we have. So again, bringing expertise from here, the Netherlands, but also from Ukraine, from locals. We're going to be tackling this topic just in 2 months. And the other 4 are planned for the rest of the year and also the beginning of the next year. The third pillar is capacity. And this pillar is divided into two topics. One is education, another one NLEU, first about education. We also in partners here with Dutch educational facilities such as TU Delft or Bouwkunst Academies, both Rotterdam and Amsterdam, IHS, Breda University, and with the different partners, we already managed to organize a different kind of events, like for example, tools for post-war urban recovery for Ukraine. It was an online course that lasted for 2 months, and we had around 600 participants who enrolled into this course. We're now working on the report on this. So then also the events such as it was the studio in Breda University of Applied Science, where they were happily agreed to take a case of Ukrainian case. It was the village of Novoselivka in Chernihiv region, and basically urban planners, architects were working on that case, trying to propose their visions for the case, and later on, of course, it was sent to the mayor of the village, and it was actually done in quite close cooperation with them. But also we're organizing sets of different workshops with the studios and also webinars on the different topics. And then we are coming to capacity of an LUA, which is also something we are doing on a month basis. So such things as the dual lectures, when we're inviting both Ukrainian and Dutch representative of whatever, it's usually related to architecture, but sometimes to urbanism, to landscape and other stuff, and discussing different topics. So recently we had, for example, Slava Bolbek and Oma, who was basically talking both on the topic of education on the schools, when Bolbek Bureau was designing this 3D printed school in Lviv, and Oma is actually now till the 2030 they are designing a set of wooden modular based schools here in Amsterdam. So again, sharing the experience. So that's basically also something that we are happy to contribute to this hackathon. Is we are already in a contact with an expert who are actually, here in the Netherlands, very much. They're very successful, I think, in the topic of green architecture, sustainability, and the plan for us is to, within this month of hackathon, to organize a lecture, maybe a set of lectures, which will be related to the topics, which is very important to this hackathon, and then we can in that way contribute and be helpful also here. That's. I hope I wasn't way too long. That was my presentation. And thank you for your attention. I don't know if there are any questions. What's your timing?